Hi, everybody. I want to do a real quick compensation training just to give you a little idea of the blueprint. In order to build a large team, which is what will create that four-figure and higher paycheck, I think everybody needs a blueprint. Basically, it's like taking a trip. If we're going to go to California from New York and we've never been there, we would consult a map for the quickest way to go, right? And so it's exactly the same thing. It's so much easier to do this if you have a clear understanding of the steps involved in reaching your destination. So if you want to reach a four-figure or higher paycheck, here is your map, if you will. I'm going to share my screen here with you so that we can have a visual. I'll move this up a little bit. Okay, so how do we build this? Let me put this in a form. There we go. So the big question is, how do I build this? Okay, and there's two things basically that all of us on the team need to do. The first step on the blueprint is to understand these two things every month. We need to earn 30 points every month, and we need to refer 3 others. That will get us started on our journey. Now, does this mean you only ever have to refer 3, and you're done? Probably not, because the key component to having success referring just a few is that everybody on the team has to do number 1 and number 2. And there will be some people, and perhaps for you, all 3 of your first referrals will not do number 1 and number 2. And that it might happen. It probably will happen to someone, but don't get discouraged, because how many people do you know who would like a free membership that can monetize everyday spending that they're already doing? So, you know, some people on their first 3 people, they have 3 aces and they're done. Other people, all 3 will, you know, fall away or just not do anything, or occasionally use the platform, or maybe use the platform religiously every month but never refer anyone. And those are all fine people to have, because every bit of connection to you of spending through the platform pays you. But the idea is that if everyone does these 2 things and introduces 3 people who do these 2 things, then we will have the growth. Everyone will have the growth that we all would like. So those are your 2 things, and you just keep sponsoring until you have 3 solid people who will do this. And the others who maybe don't refer or don't buy every month, that'll be all bonus volume for you. Okay, so those 2 things, it looks like this visually: you plus 3 who introduce 3 who introduce 3, and this would make you a pace setter. You actually don't need this many people to be a pace setter. To be a pace setter in Trunited, it involves you introducing 3 who introduce 2 who each introduce 1. But that doesn't create necessarily a solid structure. So I would reach a little higher, because you want everybody to understand that their growth will be strongest in creating passive income if everybody introduces 3. You don't want to train, say, these people here that all they have to do is introduce 2. That is not in their best interest. It'll help you, but it's not in their best interest, because you want them to be pace setters as well. And to be a pace setter, you have to have a minimum of 3 connections on your front line. So you're basically telling these people, if you tell them they only have to introduce 2, that, you know, you don't care if they become a pace setter. And none of us want to do that. Essentially, this 3x3 structure, it creates a very strong pace setter leg. And the minute this next group introduces 3, these 3 are now pace setters, and you will capture down to 6 levels of volume, and that could be a lot of people. So right here, you would have 40 people, you're 39, and you always count times 30 points. This would give you 1,200 points. So what does that mean in terms of a paycheck? Because these would be the points rewarded for everyone in this group getting 30 points a month by using the Trunited platform. So the points, 1,200 points times what? What does that do for me monetarily? Well, the current 90-day average is 16 cents per point, okay? That's what Trunited pays. So 1,200 times 16 cents is $192, and that's what that structure right now in January of 2018 would do for you. Okay, so that's not going to buy you a house or a car, and that's not going to help you retire, but it is a great start. And honestly, in America, the average bankruptcy can be avoided for an extra $200 in a household budget. That's how close to the edge many people live. So don't discount this. That's a lot of groceries for a family, and it's a good solid start for your business. Okay, so the thing that I always try to remember, because actually my first check 12 years ago when I first joined a multi-level marketing company was I think 162. And you would have thought I was John D. Rockefeller. I was thrilled. And of course, I had spent a lot more to start the business, which my mother pointed out. Sometimes your family are the last to come on board with support. Just get used to that. So she pointed out that while I had made $162, I had certainly spent a whole lot more than that. But it was a start. And within a matter of months, it was exponentially higher. So just have faith. This is a very, very solid start. Think about what you did to earn it. You had a free membership. It didn't cost you anything. And then you redirected some spending. And even if you redirect the spending into the direct-to-consumer products, which I'm about to explain, that is maybe extra money out of your budget. It won't be 192. You won't have to spend anywhere close to 192 to earn this money, okay? And you could do it just by shopping at your normal places and buying at Walmart, Target, and Home Depot and all that. All right, so what determines the point value in the first place? Because the point value changes from month to month to month to month, and obviously it's in all of our best interests and in the company's best interest to keep that point value growing. And it should, because it's the amount of commerce flowing through the Trunited network of shoppers. Remember, Trunited is like a social media platform or network for shopping, okay? So obviously, the more commerce you have, your point value is going to go up. And what's the surest way to increase the amount of commerce? The number of members. If you think about it like Facebook, and let's pretend that in order to have a Facebook account, we all had to spend $1 a month. Okay, so obviously when Facebook had 50,000 members, that was less commerce than when Facebook grew to 2 billion members, right? And that's the same idea here. So if the point value is determined by the amount of total commerce, and that's increased by the number of members increasing, when those two things increase, that means higher point value. So just imagine what that $192 check could be when the point value goes up to 20 cents or 25 cents or 30 cents or 50 cents. And right now, at this point in time, January 2018, Trunited just has just over 50,000 members. It's very, very early days. So just imagine, the sky is truly the limit. All right, so we are the ones who control what we make. If we tell more people and we redirect more spending through Trunited.com, we will increase the point value. And so it's in all our best interest to figure out how to fit the most of our household spending into this platform that we can, okay? It's not a requirement, but it absolutely will benefit you, okay? So your first month, I don't want you to be frustrated, because I was a little bit. It took me about 3 weeks to really wrap my mind around how I was going to redirect my spending and what spending I had to redirect and what merchants were on the platform. And I was a little bit overwhelmed by it all, because it involves a change in habit, and it involves a change in spending, and just, it was a lot. And that's somebody who is used to doing this and really loves to find new ways to monetize expenses. And so I already had kind of a basic understanding, and I was still a little bit overwhelmed. I say all that just to say that in your first month, be patient with yourself. You probably will not monetize as many dollars as you can. I didn't. I made some mistakes. I wasn't in the habit yet. I didn't think to go and check for gift cards and whether I could double dip by buying a gift card with a particular merchant and then using that gift card to shop at that particular merchant. You know, there are just some tricks that I didn't know. So I did not monetize as many dollars as I could have. And I was a little frustrated with myself, but I encourage you not to be. Give yourself some grace and give yourself room in the learning curve. It will work out fine, because it was just about 3 weeks and it was kind of like the dawn broke and I got it. And I then began to monetize in a much more fruitful way. Okay, so there are 3 ways to shop at Trunited.com. There are the direct-to-consumer products, we call them DTC, and actually at this point in time, I believe Trunited is about to change the name of this category to stores that, or brands that pay us the most, something very obvious. Okay, so here's what you get with the DTC products, and you will find these direct-to-consumer right at the Trunited.com. You sign in, and then right along the front, there's 3 categories, and the first one is direct-to-consumer. There's not a ton of product categories there. These are emerging brands that typically sell in very local ways and on Amazon.com. And as I'm sure you know, Amazon gets the choice with a vendor whether to put that vendor on page 1 of the search engine or page 25. And so since these vendors can't control that, they saw Trunited as a way to reach more consumers and build loyalty and word of mouth. And so they jumped at the chance to join Trunited, and they made a deal with Trunited. They said, we will pay your members a lot. So some of these DTC merchants pay 50% points, 70% points. I mean, it's pretty astonishing return in reward points for your purchasing. And I'm sure that as Trunited grows, the list and the depth and the breadth of the DTC products will grow as well. So keep checking back there. There may be something you can redirect your money into. If you're buying one brand of vitamin over here at Vitamin Shop, well, there are several brands of vitamins on the DTC products. And while, yes, Vitamin Shop is a vendor in the global brands area, you're going to get more points saying no to Vitamin Shop vitamins and buying the vitamins in the DTC area, because they're going to pay you more points. They also pay that month. This is the only category where you will get credit for your points and payment for your points the month you buy, okay? And you also have a way to earn 10% bonus points in the DTC shop. So I really do encourage you. It will speed up your paycheck faster and speed up the growth of your team much faster if people purchase from the DTC area. But it is in no way a requirement. I just don't want you to be frustrated if you're spending all your money, or you're just spending your money, you're just redirecting money in the global brands or gift card area, because that will delay your growth in your paycheck by about 2 months, in some cases 3 months. It's just the way it works. And that is perfectly fine. There's no problem with that. You just need to be prepared for that, so you don't think that, you know, that you're not getting credit, because you will. Okay, so the second category, as I mentioned, global brands. These are brands you already use. They're the Walmarts, the Targets, the Home Depot, the Payless Shoes, Priceline. There are hundreds, literally hundreds on the site. So you just need to explore. There's a search bar. And so I have found it easier, rather than just to scroll through the hundreds that are there and try to remember them. If I am shopping, if I need to buy something at Walgreens, I go first to global brands and I search Walgreens and see if it's a global vendor, okay? We do get a lower point value. The vendors determine the point value. Walmart told Trunited we'll pay 4%. Target told Trunited we'll pay 5%. Sam's told Trunited we'll pay whatever. PetSmart told Trunited we'll pay, I think it's 7%. It's all explained right there on the website. And that way you can decide. They also disclose the vendors have the right to exclude certain products. So Target excludes groceries, you know, and we can rail about that and feel like, well, that's just not fair. But frankly, Target gets to say that, just like Target gets to say we're going to charge, you know, $5 for this teacup. I get to decide if I want the teacup. So Target gets to say, we're not going to pay points on groceries. I wish they did. They don't. So I'm not going to waste any brain space worrying about that. And there is a 60 to 90 day delay in points and in pay. So if you have an entire team that is just doing global points, everybody's growth will be slowed down by 60 to 90 days. And in my view, that is perfectly okay as long as you're prepared for it and don't get frustrated. Gift cards is another area where there are literally hundreds of brands. These are brands we're all familiar with. We already use them. There's lots of restaurants. There's just lots of retail. There's tons. And they give the lowest point value. There's actually two ways to buy gift cards. One is within global brands. You search giftcards.com, and all those gift cards pay 1%. But then on the Trunited home page, there's also a tab that says gift cards, and if you click that, that takes you to giftcardmall.com, and those gift cards pay between 2 and 5%. So you just have to look and see which one is best for you. Here's a tip on double dipping. Home Depot, there is a Home Depot gift card at Gift Card Mall, and Home Depot is a global brand, so you could go to the Trunited website, click gift cards, go and buy a Home Depot gift card and earn between 2 and 5% on that purchase. Make it a virtual gift card, and it comes right on your phone in about 10 to 15 minutes. Then go back to Trunited.com, click Go Global Brands, go to Home Depot. It takes you to Home Depot's website, and use the gift card that you just bought to make your purchase. You're going to get points on both the gift card purchase and on Home Depot, so you can boost your percentage from 3% all the way up potentially to 8%, depending on what the Home Depot gift card pays. And it's just like that. It's really quick. So these are some of the tips that I missed the first month, and I don't want you to miss them. Again, there is a 60 to 90 day delay in points and pay in the gift card area. Don't let yourself get frustrated by that. I personally am going to do a combination. I'm going to do DTC brands in a couple of areas. I'm just going to redirect some spending from over here to over here. I already buy vitamins. I already buy skincare. I'll redirect. But then I'm also going to shop at Walgreens.com. I've shopped at Target.com. I've bought Visa gift cards. I've bought Starbucks gift cards. So I'm going to do a mix of both, and that's honestly what I would suggest. Do note that your on-hold points, the ones from Global and gift cards, are tracked on the website. They're not broken out by merchant. I've actually asked the support folks if they can find some way to do that, but they are indicated, so you can kind of keep an eye on what you know you've ordered from Global and gift card and just make sure you're getting credit for that. And the support staff is great. In case you're missing some points, just email them. They'll have you send a screenshot and they'll fix it. So here is the outcome of doing all that. This is an example of a blueprint, a 7-month blueprint when points are 10 cents. Okay, so we've already talked about the fact that points are an average right now of 16 cents. Okay, so this is a little bit low ball. Plus, you'll notice the top line refers to a $99 affiliate program. Right now, in January of 2018, the company just announced that they are getting rid of the $99 affiliate price. So don't even worry about what it was. Trunited always had a free membership, but we did have the option to upgrade to capture for the lower generations. That is going away as of March, and so there will be no $99 affiliate program. The program is going to stay free. So this 33 points is obviously a little more than 30 per member, and that's because this is premised on everyone on the team getting their 30 points in the DTC area. Now, let's talk about this two ways. Let's say that happens, that everyone takes a month to get 30 points in the DTC area. They put that in a true box order, which is literally one box to check on the checkout page. So it's not a big deal. And that gives you 10% bonus points. That's why it's 33 points. Okay, everybody on the team is going to do that. And the other thing everyone's going to do is introduce 3 people who do that in their first month. Okay, so this is by month. Level 1 is month 1, level 2 is month 2, level 3 is month 3, and so on. Okay, so this is what can happen. By month 7, if everyone on the team did that, DTC order and get the bonus points and sponsor 3 people who do the same, you can see your check would be significant. More than $10,000 check in 7 months if everybody does that, okay? That's pretty astonishing. So that's what you have ahead of you. Now, let's go back to the other alternative. Let's say that everyone on the team sponsors 3 people over 60 days. They take 60 days and everybody buys direct products, okay? Or, yeah, let's just say that. So they get 33 points. Everybody does that, but everybody takes 60 days to sponsor 3 people who get their 30 points in the direct to consumer category. Then obviously it would take twice as long to get to a $10,800 check. Does that make sense? Okay, so what if everybody sponsors their 3 and has their 30 points in 2 weeks? Then it would take 3.5 months. So it's just math. Now, what happens if everyone on your team wants to do global and gift card only, and they all say, I don't want to buy from the direct to consumer area? Just add 60 to 90 days to this total. And I would still say, as long as you know that's going to happen and everybody knows that's going to happen and no one gets discouraged and begins to think this isn't working, then that would be fine. Who would argue with that in 9 months? I guarantee you there's not anyone on this, including me, who in a first job out of college, after 4 years of college, get our first professional job, and in 9 months or a year, we're making $10,000 a month. Unless maybe you are a law student with tons of debt. I don't know. I don't know what they make because I'm not a lawyer. Okay, so basically, this is your team that you start with, right? Because you don't, for your optimum benefit, you don't want to just stay with just 3. Even if your 3 are focused and they help their 3 focus, and you can do that if everyone sponsors 3. But it's by this time, see, you're making some decent money and you're not going to be able to keep this to yourself. Because think about what you have got. You've got a free membership that monetizes existing spending. You're going to spend this money anyway, and you have more than 3 friends who would like to make some money. And I would honestly say, if you only tell 3 people, you are not being a very good friend. Because if you're my friend and you found this and you haven't told me, I would be hurt. Okay? So what happens after you have your first 3 and you kind of have a grid going and everybody seems to be kind of gelling? Then you have 3 by 3 by 3, right? What you should do is you should sponsor 3 new and do it all over again and build 6 wide, okay? And then I would build 9 wide, and then I would build 12 wide. You can be paid all the way down 15 generations in this business. We're talking about 6-figure monthly checks and beyond. And we have this to give to other people. Can you imagine a greater cause than to give this to people in today's economy where the middle class is being squeezed from all sides? I can't. It gets me all excited. So that's what I would do. So why do I talk about the AEIOU mindset? I like acronyms because it helps me remember things. And this really doesn't have that much to do with the blueprint, but this, well, it kind of does, because to stick with the blueprint, sometimes it's going to feel like, oh my gosh, why did I do this? This isn't working. Because you're going to have people who should participate actively and they're just not, and you want it so badly for them and they just are not getting it, and it's going to be very frustrating, okay? That's when you're going to need to be accountable. In those moments, you're going to need to be accountable to you and to the whole team for your 30 points. You're going to need to be engaged, because when you are discouraged, you're going to need the whole team helping you stay with it. You're not going to want to all the time. You're going to be tired. You're going to be annoyed sometimes. It's just It's not physically hard and it's not mentally hard once you get it. But it can be emotionally hard. You know, I built to the top 2% of my first MLM company in just about a year's time. That check far surpassed what I made in my day job, if you will. And over time, I earned 3 free Mercedes with that company. And yet there is still someone at that day job because I stay there. I work part-time. I like the job. I have health insurance. Why would I not do that? So I'm staying there for the benefits, for Pete's sake. There's still someone still there who knew me all those years, and he still talks about my pyramid in a negative way. And it's nuts. So at moments like that, I mean, you do get to the point where you don't care and where you look at them like they're idiots. But at first, it hurts a little bit. So stay engaged because we can help you with that. And that's what the Facebook page is for. Ask questions, ask for help. We have to be intentional. The I is intentional. We have to be intentional in changing the way we shop. We have to be intentional in making decisions to redirect. We have to be intentional. You're watching this video is an intentional decision to do this instead of watching a 30-minute sitcom that will not really add anything to your life. That intentionality will serve you. We have to be online. This sounds stupid because you think everybody's online. Everybody loves online shopping. I didn't. I was not an online shopper. I had to make a decision to get comfortable with that and to want to do that instead of just running by the store to pick up what I need. For one thing, I'm not a big shopper in the first place. And if I'm going to make this work, I have to move my Walgreens run to online. So I ordered my eyeliner and my mascara through Trunited and had to make an intentional decision to do that and wait a day for them to ship those products. But it's okay because it's worth it. My children's life, my legacy, your income, and savings for good and the nonprofits that will help are that important to me. And we have to stay united with the teams. This is a team effort. There is nothing in this life where this acronym team is more appropriate. Together, everyone achieves more. We've always heard that, but there's nowhere in this world, I don't believe, that this is more true. So we have to stick together and we have to hold each other accountable to this dream if we're going to help you get to that paycheck. So again, here's the 7-month example at 10 points. So here's one thing I want you to do every day. This is very important. These blueprints this blueprint is the mechanics, right? The what do I do? A, B, C. 30 points every month, 3 people. Sponsor them, help them sponsor them. Follow that, right? That's the mechanics, and that's important. But the very most important thing you can do is to take 5 or 10 minutes every day, maybe twice a day, at least 5 minutes. Look at that number, 10,820. Close your eyes and visualize how you will feel when you have that coming into your home on top of what you make. Don't do it as a checklist for I'll do this, I'll go there. Think about how you will feel when you book that cruise for your family. Think about how you'll feel when you buy that special diamond for your spouse. Think about how you feel when whatever it is that drives you, whatever it is, think about the emotions attached to doing that. And if you do that for 5 or 10 minutes every day, the blueprint will happen. Just trust me on that. Prove me wrong. I would love that. Trust me on that. And again, I want to remind you, the $99 affiliate program is no more. So now think about that blueprint in these terms. Remember, that was 10 cents. Well, right now, January 2018, we're at 16 cents. So what would the number of points that you would have if everyone introduces 3 and has 30 points per month or 33 points per month? After 7 months, you'd have a total of more than 72,000 points. What would that be at 16 cents per point? It would be more than $10,800. And what if the point value went up further? Because logically it should, right? If we all are starting with a little team and all introducing 3, that's more people. And if all those people are redirecting enough to have 30 points a month, that's a lot more commerce, right? So that point value should go up. So what happens if it goes up to 20? That's not very far from where it is now. Well, that's a almost $14,500 check every month. 5 minutes to 10 minutes a day. Meditate and visualize what you will do, what your life will be like when you have that, and how will it make you feel. Get down to the emotion of it. It absolutely changes the game for you. So if you do nothing else out of this video, please do that. It will put you into action and you will begin to follow the blueprint almost by rote. It'll make it so much easier. So let's refresh what we do. We buy what we already buy. We shop where we already shop. We redirect some spending to direct to some consumer products, the ones that pay the most points and pay right now as we're able. If you are not able to buy a box of vitamins every month right now, if you don't feel like you can do that, then wait until you have some money. But promise me you will be patient with the process as you redirect into global and gift cards, and be willing to wait 60 to 90 days to get paid. And then begin to put some into DTC because it will pay you faster and it'll grow your team faster, and teach others to do that. Help others do number 1, number 2, and number 3. And you will be fine. Take the long haul. Be patient with the process. This is not automatic. There is no MLM ATM that would punch a button and money falls out. If anybody tells you there is, they are lying to you. It is a process. It is about personal growth. It is about, it's about visualization. It is about following a plan. It is about being intentional, about taking time to learn and grow. And so you have to be patient with that, because there will be days when you're not sure you want to do that. Give yourself some grace. Take an hour off. Quit for an hour if you want to quit, but don't quit for longer than that. You will regret it for the rest of your life. Stay focused on the long-term goal. Stop worrying about what you can do this month. Just follow the blueprint, visualize, and do what you can this month, and focus on that long-term goal. And ask for help if you're discouraged. That's what we're here for. If you do what other people won't do, and a lot of that is being intentional and being willing to redirect spending. A lot of people will say it's not worth it. That's okay. Be an ant instead of a grasshopper. Time is going to pass anyway. The question is, what will you do today so that at the end of that passage of time, a year from now, your family is in a different place? That's what your goal is. That's what your job is. And it's your job to find others who will do what others won't do as well, so that all of you can live as others only dream. It's my prayer for you that you make this happen for family, and make it happen for Savings for Good. I visualize every day about what it will feel like a year from now to have Savings for Good giving 10 checks of $2,000 each to worthy nonprofits. That is $20,000 a month income, and that can only happen if your family is making $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month this time next year. And that is my prayer for you. So let's go get it. Let's get started. Thanks for joining us.